Hello, my name is Anna. I want to tell you a story. It is my story. True story. You are listening to Arsh CT, and I hope you will listen carefully. This story is about love, mistakes, and secrets. Sometimes, life brings people into your world in ways you never expect. This is my story. It happened in Chicago. It happened with two men I knew. And it changed my life forever. I was 26 years old. I had just moved to Chicago. New city, new apartment, new job, new life. I wanted a fresh start. I wanted peace. I wanted quiet mornings with sunlight in my small apartment. I wanted a job that kept me busy but did not stress me too much. I had left a long relationship, one that made me tired and sad. I promised myself, no man for now. Just me and my life. Then I met my boss. His name was Daniel Wright. He was 40 years old. Calm, polite, smart, and always dressed well. He was the kind of man who never shouted but still controlled the room. People listened to him because of his calm voice. I liked him. I respected him. I trusted him. At least, that is what I told myself. I worked as an executive assistant at his company. I had long hours. I had coffee runs. I arranged meetings and managed schedules. Sometimes, the office felt boring. Sometimes, it was fun. Daniel always noticed when I worked hard. He said, "Thank you, Anna. Good job." Simple words, but they meant a lot. Daniel had a best friend. His name was Ethan. I did not meet Ethan at the office. I met him at a Friday night dinner with Daniel. He came late. He smiled as soon as he entered. He laughed like he already belonged there. Daniel introduced him casually. "Anna, this is Ethan. My best friend since college." Ethan looked at me and said, "So, you're the one who keeps this office running." I remember that sentence. It made me feel special. I smiled, but inside, I felt nervous too. He had dark eyes and a calm smile. He looked at me like he wanted to understand me. At first, nothing was wrong. Ethan did not work at the office. He came only sometimes, office parties, weekend dinners, or casual lunches. But we always started talking. About music, movies, childhood stories, and life in Chicago. I felt he understood me. I thought, it is safe. Just friendship. Daniel trusted Ethan with everything. His business. His secrets. His life. And that trust was the first crack. I did not see it at first, but it was there. One night, after a long business conference, Daniel could not attend a dinner party. He asked Ethan to take me instead. "Make sure she gets home safe," he said. I felt safe with Ethan. He smiled and said, "Of course." That night, we talked for hours. About our past, our dreams, our fears. I told him things I never told anyone. He listened. He understood. We laughed. We shared small secrets. I should have left that night. But I did not. I stayed. After that night, we began talking more. On phone, on text messages. Private jokes. Late night talks. I felt happy. I felt alive. I felt close to him in a way I had never felt before. Slowly, I realized something. I liked him more than a friend. But I was scared. I was scared of betrayal. I was scared of Daniel. I was scared of myself. Ethan was kind. Gentle. But sometimes, he was restless. Sometimes, I saw a look in his eyes that made me nervous. A look that said, "I want more." I ignored it. I told myself it was just my imagination. One day, we had lunch together. Just the two of us. Daniel was busy at work. The restaurant was quiet. Ethan leaned closer and said, "Anna, You're different. You are special. I laughed nervously. My heart was beating fast. Thank you, I said, looking away. That day, I realized something dangerous. I realized I was crossing a line. But it felt impossible to stop. His words felt good. His attention felt exciting. I told myself, it is just friendship. I can handle it. But feelings cannot be stopped. They grow quietly. Slowly. Every smile. Every laugh. Every look. Every text. The line became smaller and smaller. And one evening, I sent him a text that I should have never sent. I feel something. I think I like you. I remember my hands shaking. I pressed send. And then waited. My heart was pounding. Minutes felt like hours. Then, his reply came. I feel the same. I froze. I could not move. I felt happy. I felt scared. I felt guilty. Everything was happening too fast. I knew what this meant. I was crossing a line that could never be undone. After that night, Ethan and I started spending more time together. Not at work, not where anyone could see, but in quiet places, small cafes, late walks by the river, short drives through the city streets. Every moment with him felt exciting. Every word he said made my heart beat faster. I knew it was dangerous, but it felt impossible to stop. Daniel trusted me. He trusted Ethan. And I trusted myself to be careful. But feelings are not careful. They grow quietly, like a small fire that spreads without warning. Every laugh we shared, every secret we whispered, every touch, it made me want him more. And I knew that one day, the truth would come out. One evening, Ethan invited me to a small art gallery opening. Daniel was busy at the office, traveling for work. The gallery was quiet, almost empty. The paintings were beautiful, but I barely noticed them. Ethan held my hand as we walked. My heart was pounding. I wanted this, but I was also scared. I knew it was wrong. Then, he kissed me. Just once, quickly, soft and gentle. But it was enough. My world changed in that moment. I felt happiness, fear, guilt, and excitement all at once. I pulled back, but he smiled. I know it is complicated, he said. But I can't stop feeling this. I told myself to stop. I said, Ethan, we cannot do this. It is wrong. Daniel trusts you. He trusts me. Please, let us stop. But stopping was impossible. Our feelings were too strong. And from that moment, there was no turning back. We continued seeing each other in secret. Late nights at small diners, walks in quiet parks, talking for hours in empty streets. Every meeting was a thrill, every moment a risk. And I knew one day, someone would find out. Then came the day Daniel noticed something. A small detail. A text left on my phone. A coffee cup I forgot to throw away. Nothing big, just small signs. And suddenly, I felt the weight of everything. The guilt, the fear, the danger. One afternoon, Daniel called me to his office. My hands were shaking as I walked in. He sat behind his desk, calm, hands folded. His eyes were heavy, tired, but controlled. Anna, he said quietly, I need to ask you something. Did something happen with Ethan? I froze. My mouth felt dry. My heart was pounding. I wanted to lie. I wanted to run. But I could not. I whispered, yes. I mean, I don't know. Daniel sighed. He did not shout. He did not scream. That silence was worse than anger. I trusted you, he said. And I trusted him. And now I feel betrayed. I felt my world crumble. The office felt like it was closing in on me. I wanted to disappear. I wanted to explain, to say it was a mistake, that I did not mean to hurt anyone. But words were not enough. Daniel stood and walked past me. He said nothing more, just left the office. I knew I had to make a choice. Stay and feel guilty forever, or leave and try to start again. Ethan wanted me to leave Chicago with him. He said, "We can go anywhere. Start new. Forget this city, forget Daniel." I was scared. I knew leaving would destroy my old life completely. But staying meant living with guilt every day. I chose to go with Ethan. I packed my small apartment. I said goodbye to my coworkers, careful not to reveal too much. I felt fear and excitement at the same time. 6 months later, we got married. Small courthouse wedding. No family, no friends, just papers and rings. I thought marriage would fix everything. I thought it would make Ethan stay, make him love me completely. But I was wrong. Marriage did not solve our problems. Ethan changed. He became quiet, distant. He did not laugh as much. He did not smile as much. And then one night, after an argument, he said something I will never forget, "Anna, I think I wanted what Daniel had, not you." I felt broken. My heart ached. I realized that I had not just betrayed Daniel. I had betrayed myself. I left him. No yelling. No tears in public. I packed my things quietly and returned to Chicago. A year later, I met Daniel in a small cafe. He looked older. Tired. But calm. We talked about forgiveness. He said something that stayed with me: betrayal hurts most when it comes from people you never expect. I nodded. I understood. I tell this story on Arsh CT because life does not warn you before mistakes. Love does not always come clean. Sometimes love is comfort. Sometimes love is excitement. Sometimes love is a mistake you carry forever. After I returned to Chicago, life felt empty at first. My apartment was quiet. The streets I walked every day felt different. Every corner reminded me of the past, Daniel, Ethan, the choices I made. I could not stop thinking about them. Every memory came back in my mind like a small movie, showing me my mistakes, my happiness, and my sadness together. At first, I felt lonely. Very lonely. I wondered if I had ruined my life. Could I ever trust someone again? Could I ever love without fear? These questions stayed with me every day. But slowly, I began to understand something important. Life is not only about mistakes. Life is about learning from them. And I needed to learn. I started small. I walked in the parks near my apartment. I drank coffee in small cafes alone. I wrote in my notebook every day. I wrote about my feelings. I wrote about my fears. I wrote about the love I felt and the love I lost. Writing helped me think clearly. Writing helped me feel free. I also started meeting friends. Old friends from college, new people from work, people I never talked to before. I realized that people can bring happiness in small ways: smiles, stories, laughter. Slowly, I felt stronger. My heart healed, little by little. One day, I met Daniel again. It was not planned. It happened at a small bookstore. He was there looking at a shelf of books about leadership. I smiled nervously. He looked at me and smiled softly. There was no anger in his eyes, only calm and understanding. He said, "Hello, Anna. How are you?" I told him the truth. I said, "I made mistakes, Daniel. I hurt you. I am sorry. I have learned a lot." He listened. He nodded. "I understand," he said. "And I have forgiven you. Life is difficult. People make mistakes. What matters is how we grow from them." That day, I realized something important. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself. Daniel forgave me, and I forgave myself. I understood that love can be complicated. Life can be complicated. But happiness can return if we learn and grow. I also realized something about Ethan. I could not blame him completely. He was human. He made choices like everyone else. But I understood that love without respect and honesty can never last. I needed someone who respected me, who trusted me, and whom I could trust in return. That lesson stayed with me forever. After that, I focused on my life. I worked hard at my new job. I spent time with friends and family. I traveled around the city. I visited museums, parks, small cafes. I even learned to cook new dishes at home. I started feeling alive again. I felt that I could be happy without depending on anyone else. Sometimes, I think about Ethan. Sometimes, I think about that courthouse wedding. But I no longer feel sadness. I feel a lesson learned. I feel a story that made me stronger. And I feel hope for the future. Life taught me one important thing: love is not always perfect. People make mistakes. But honesty, trust, and forgiveness can make life beautiful again. I learned to love myself first, to respect my own feelings, and to make decisions carefully. And that is why I tell this story on Arsh CT. Not for sympathy. Not for judgment. But for learning. For understanding. For feeling. Every story has lessons. Every mistake has a meaning. And every choice teaches us something important about love, life, and ourselves. If you are listening to this story and it touches your heart, I invite you to subscribe to Arsh CT, turn on the bell so you can hear more true, emotional, and meaningful stories that help you learn English naturally. Because the best way to learn a language is to feel it, live it, and remember it through stories that stay in your heart. Always remember, mistakes can hurt, but lessons can heal. Life moves forward, and love, honesty, and courage will guide you.